I was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 50 years ago, and I was never a kid that liked to play soccer. You know, like actually Brazilians they do. I never play any other sport besides fighting. You know, I was in the judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling. Maybe because of my size, maybe because my personality again. I was never in the trouble with fighting, anything like that. You know, I think that I really, and that is one good thing, I use my time to training. And, you know, I was never in the party, you know, scene or anything like that. So I believe that if you don't look for, you're not getting. I came to the United States 28 years ago. Pretty much, you know, with a desire to stay here. I didn't come like most of the Brazilians or most of the immigrants. They come over here to make a little bit of money, go back home, buy an apartment, buy a car. No. When I came to here, and without speaking any English, without knowing nobody, I came with a decision made by me that I was going to be home. Actually, I felt that I was going back home. I went through many situations, and nothing that makes me feel, you know, feel sorry about me. It was just when I look back and I say, and I think that has a lot to do also with my personality. I see as lessons. I don't see problems as problems shows to you. I see as solution. If you don't get a problem, you not exercise to find a solution. You know. I never give up, you know, even I was doing different works, different jobs, waiter, busboy, construction, whatever I was doing, I always kept my training with my brother, Marcelo, you know, always going back to the jiu-jitsu, doing my wrestling. So I ended up having the best opportunity of my life was to fight one of the first shows, you know, MMA shows back then, you know, it was no holds bar, you know, extreme fighting battle cage. You know, became a champion, heavyweight champion. I had the chance to fight in the UFC, first UFC Japan, you know, outside in the United States. So, and pretty much my life, you know, for I understand, has been, you know, involved in fighting in MMA. So, you know, I was here before ATT was born. So I was waiting for the baby to come out. I think it was the combination. You know, I love that. I love the fighting. I love the science. Then today is not, you know, if you call fighting, it's not even the way it should be called. It's science. It is about how do you go to the lab and you put the parts together to get you the best result. I believe in when you are an MMA fighter, what drives you to be involved in this environment. Number one, it's got to be passion, because you got to like as much as when you win, you got to like as much as when you lose. You know, your mind has to be in the level of understanding that anything that happens, you have to just fight. And I think that the mental part, the mind part, whatever you call, sometimes is forgot for the fighters. You know, they go too much for the great shape, great technique, great physically, great this, but mentally, the mind is not as in good shape as the body. I believe the mind is pretty much exactly like your abs. If you want to have abs, you got to work your abs. If you want to have a good reflex, you want to have a good calculation, you want to have a good vision, you want to have a good calculation, has to do with your mind. The 98%, and I'm going to be nice, in the fight, when I say the moment that you fight, 3 rounds, 5 rounds, whatever, is your mind is going to dictate. You know, fight is nothing more than questions and answers. And if I see that I ask you something and I don't see the answer, I'm going to walk through that easily. I talk to fighters, you know, our guys, it's complete out of the strategies, complete out of the technical parties. How you deal with yourself? What's the reasons why you did and why the reasons why you doing this? Like I say, if you don't know yourself, how are you going to How are you going to use the tools? How are you going to be able to achieve the best performance? I think they start from there. You know, most of the guys, they go, as example, most of the guys go 3 months to hell training for a fight camp. The 15 minutes they see as the worst thing on their lives. It's pretty much some of the fighters, when they come and knock the door, they say, you next. If they could, they will stop the time and say, let me have another 5 minutes. So when you do that, you create a conflict with yourself, against yourself. So pretty much how you can go head to yourself. That's exactly what happens. How you can get a good result when that happens? You're not going to get it. Pretty much it becomes 2 against 1. You and your opponent against you. Because that guy is going to go to the other side. That's exactly what's going to happen. So when you're not having, you're not having fun, when you're not having passion, because when you have passion for something, it doesn't have to be fighting, but anything that you do in life, if you don't have a pleasure, it's not really going to get you there. You see, a good example that everybody understands. Let's get away from the fight. When you marry somebody, what is exactly makes you deal with marriage? Just for the fact that that person gives you what nobody gives you. You have a feeling from that person that you don't have from anybody. That is the priority. That's what it goes when you're rich, when you're poor, when you're healthy, when you're sick. Because as much can be fun, as much can be, you can be a billionaire, that phase is going to pass. And what is going to be left? What is got to be the feeling. So when you put it there towards to fighting, is exactly the same. So what it makes me to go through the diet, the nutrition, the punishment, the punch, the kick, my muscle, my bone, what it makes you go through that? You have to have extremely love for this. Because if you don't, you're not going to survive. If you don't have for your wife, you're not going to, anybody will call your attention outside and you will go, because what you have in home is really not a passion. It's not really love. So when the guys, they choose the wrong reason, they don't prioritize what they want to have, the end is it's a snap. You're just going to pass through. You're not going to get anything from this. So that is the answer for a good performance is how much you love what you're doing. The belief has to come right here. If I do believe, then I can do it. If I do believe that what I want, I think right there, it doesn't matter being a fighter or not. You don't have to be a fighter. But I just believe in yourself. That's what drives you. Tell me whatever you have, what else you have inside you, they cannot be taken from you. Just your believing. So I believe in believing. If you don't have that, you don't have nothing. I mean, so I think that respect, it is more important than anything. I think that the definition of a man is a guy that understands that is not how powerful he is, how much money he has, or whatever it be the situation, he has to respect. You see, you can get along with everybody in life, but you can respect everybody. That's okay then if you don't know everything. That's okay, you know what? Let's find out. After we're getting older, or I don't know exactly will be the age, after 30, whatever we feel that we are full-grown men, we have this kind of a shame to say, oh man, I can't say anybody that I'm trying to learn. What? That is the beauty. The beauty of life is say, I have all these years to the day I die to learn. I don't want to be a teacher. I want to live my life being a student. Everything that I learned, I put on the shelf right here. It's a book that I wrote, and it's right there. I don't keep standing and bragging, I know everything. You can know everything with a 500 years old. If you come to me and say, hey, if I make you 1 million, do you think that I know about life? I say, no, of course not. You don't. Just so you don't, what is the best to do? Let me be a student. let me learn more. Let me see how far my capacity of learning and understanding can be.